What's up, folks? This is Acid Roots. Welcome to part 12 of Let's Play Donkey Kong Country 2. So, I've been trying to get my breath control under control the past 3 or 4 minutes. That's one thing about being a Let's Player, is you have to make sure you're not out of breath when you start recording. So you're going to have to take a deep breath to kind of get back in motion. So that's something here. But we are going to defeat this stage relatively early in the episode. I mean, that was basically the only stage I played back in part 11, but there is a hero coin somewhere in this stage, and I don't know where it was located, but seeing as I'm not going to get 100%, for the most part, I don't really care. So, but just understand, if you are trying to get 100%, there is like I said, a hero coin. So, but we are going to progress to World 6, so if you're wondering what that is, you'll find out in just a couple seconds. So, yeah, this is the final actual world, full world in this, so it's a castle world. You would think that this is the final world, but it's not. So, yeah, one more ice stage. I think there's at least one more in, like, one of the last Lost World stages, but, really the theme, I mean, this is not necessarily a summer game, but it's also not a winter game either. I think people probably complained about the snow stages in Donkey Kong Country, so they got rid of them. Mainly the first stage. The first stage in World 4 of Donkey Kong Country is pretty bad, just because I think even with, like, you know, acute vision, I still think it's difficult to really have that particularly mapped out. I mean, you really have to pay attention. That's probably not a stage you can do drunk, and it's probably not a stage you can half-ass for the most part. It's not the toughest stage in the game, but it just is a real... I just have not really seen that happen too many times in video games, where they make something as optically difficult as that one. So, it's kind of the thing, but... So I know they don't do it in the third Donkey Kong Country, so you don't have to worry about it in that one, but there are snow stages in that one. So, I think this is one of the last stages where you control the swordfish. I mean, I think he's basically in every water stage, so that's he's probably the animal buddy that pops up the most, I'd have to say. Yeah. So, yeah, I've been having, if you're wondering what's been up with, like, the man behind the microphone, I've been having difficulties getting Slim Jim. I bought a bunch of them in August, and now they're not really readily available. I think that's really, like, the main Walmart that I go to at where I live in Missouri doesn't have them. And Walmart.com is having difficulty getting them. I mean, I could buy them off of Amazon, but to get like a 26-pack of mini Slim Jims, so yeah, you basically get 26 of them, but you'd have to pay $15 for them, plus shipping. So that's kind of a rip-off if you can't tell, because to get a 26-pack at Walmart, it's only like $4.50. So you're basically paying 3 times the price, and as much as I like Slim Jim, I don't like it that much where I'm going to pay $15 just for 25 of them. It's not worth it. They're worth $5 or $4, $4.50. It's all the more they're worth, so... I mean, normally I like Amazon, but that is kind of a rip-off. When I bought Yoo-Hoo last year, they were trying to charge me $30 just for 12 cans. And you could buy 12 cans for $5 at Walmart, but that was also, of course, during coronavirus, without a vaccine. So that's just kind of like the main remark. So I was just reading some hip-hop news website, and it just had recently said that Nicki Minaj had gotten coronavirus, which that does suck. I mean, it sucks when, you know, anyone gets it, but this particular, I don't know what it is. I mean, the hip-hop musicians, you know, obviously they have to perform, so they're, of course, they have a social job, but, you know, I don't know Nicki Minaj's stances on getting the COVID vaccine. I mean, I know that she has a newborn child, a recent child that she's had, so hopefully her and hers would think, you know, to get that taken care of. But I don't know for certain. That is kind of the thing, so that's an update for people, for those who wouldn't know necessarily how, you know, the medical world is going, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not really so vocal about telling people to get the vaccine, but I mean, I do think the thing about it is you have to remember that it does prove to be effective against it. So it's just something to consider, unless you're just not going outside. If you can really work from home, then obviously you don't need to. But even then, I mean, obviously, unless you have groceries and toilet paper and soap coming to your house and that sort of stuff, you'd have to say, like, chances are you're going to have to leave the house every now and then. So, yeah, I'm just trying to... So you want to have two monkeys in this stage as often as possible, just because the thing about this is these physics in this stage are just too sensitive, and they really do piss me off. I tried to save Dixie Kong just because she's the easier one, but the thing about it is it feels like they kind of have like weight physics in there when you have to like go underneath enemies when you're floating. That's like really sensitive, and I kind of hate when they do that in this particular stage, just because the game. I mean, normally I would have to say that the physics for Donkey Kong Country 2, the gameplay physics are spot on, but they're not when you have to float underneath the enemies. It's more delicate than what I'd like to admit. So that's something to know with this stage. I mean, I think you only have to do it for one stage, but it's something to be aware of. So, but there hasn't been one of these mine stages in a while. These are kind of short-lived, underused, I'd have to say. So yeah, this is a short episode just because my previous recording session ended at like 25 minutes. I was done after I beat this stage, and I didn't want to keep going, so I essentially said, I didn't feel like doing another recording session where I just played for like 2 minutes. I just was like, so you'll just see a longer episode next time. Part 13 will probably revert back to about 14.5-minute episodes, so... Hopefully if you saw the description, and for people who are watching this on an Xbox, in the description of the video for video 11, I told you guys to go ahead and order a pizza. You'd probably enjoy it throughout the last few segments of this playthrough, and I still recommend it. So hopefully you're, chowing down on that pizza, and kind of, if you ordered it, hopefully it's about delivered by now. So maybe it takes longer 20 minutes, but you get the idea. So it's always fun, that's the thing. Waiting on a pizza guy, something. I mean, just figuring out. I mean, Cobalt, if you didn't know, I probably haven't mentioned this on my vlog channel, but Cobalt likes to tip. He believes in a high-paying tip for, folks that get tips. I mean, if I were to get a pizza that cost like, $12, I'd probably tip him like $2 or $3, but Cobalt would probably tip him more like $5 or something. I mean, really, you think it's like 5%, but I'm not gonna tip someone, $5 for a $10 pizza or $11 pizza. You get the idea there, but you think $2, $3, $4 is more than enough. But nowadays, it's just unless you work a pizza job or something like that, you don't know the actual stats for it. But that's what I do when I order, so I'm not a cheapskate, but I'm also not a liberal with doing it. So it's kind of the thing. So that's why I talk about dipping underneath the enemies. They station them particular, so you really have to be spot on. So I just knew I had to have 2 chimps for that part, so. But yeah, this stage started to piss me off, so I didn't want to get a game over because I hadn't had the stage points. If I got a game over, I was going to have to do the Lost World stage over again. I really wasn't going to like that, so it was basically do or die with beating this stage. So, at least they're not as bad. At least you get a save point after this stage. So these enemies, the enemies with the 2 swords, they change colors, and the mint green ones will get their swords out of the ground quicker, just so you know. They know that enemy is a bastard. I used to like that enemy when I was younger. I was a fan of him when I was like 7, but he pisses me off now. It's just like, nope, you're not going to come between me and getting a game over, so I just avoided them. I'm not going to try to defeat them. But so I don't remember if I lose a life here, but I think for the most part it's just yeah, I did. So Windy Well. Yeah, I'm hungry, so I'm gonna have the leftover of my I made crescent roll hot dogs and macaroni and cheese. So yeah, I just would have to say I'm gonna probably munch on the rest of that. I made a big meal of that, so it took me, this is my third meal of having that, so yeah, I'll make, for those that don't know, if you haven't visited my blog channel where I made that, it's crescent roll hot dogs with cheese in the hot dogs. That makes it extra good, and then having macaroni and cheese with it. The thing about it is it's the deluxe macaroni and cheese, so it has the fatter noodles. So I really like that kind of mac and cheese when it's a day old. So pretty good. It's good stuff. So yeah, even sober, I continue to get the munchies. I really am someone who like those munchy foods, like those 6-pack of donuts that you get at convenience stores and Chex Mix and that sort of stuff. I'm trying to think of more munchies that there is, but yeah, this like all sorts of snacks. I really, Doritos, that sort of stuff is real good. But it's hard to live off of snacks, though. I've tried. Eventually your stomach and organs get tired of it, and I've noticed that in recent years. But so I don't know where the fuck the bird was in this. I wasn't bothering to look. I suspect near a bonus stage, but probably it was probably in that bonus barrel right there. Alright, so I just noticed I'm at the end of this episode, so just subscribe for more fun. Well, actually we have another 15 seconds, but we have to save, and I'm going to film that, so alright. Subscribe for more fun. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful night, and get ready for part 13. It's on the way.